Alright, hello folks, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering draft on Magic the Gathering Arena. It doesn't show it, but Ranked Draft Coreset 2019 is now available to play, and I'm pretty happy that Magic the Gathering is allowing this. Since 2 months ago they did allow Dominaria Draft, I never expected Coreset 2019 to ever appear again, but happy seeing this, and definitely one of the first sets that got me started into Magic, along with Dominaria and, of course, Guilds of Ravnica. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the set. I know the power levels, the archetypes, the combinations to go for, and hopefully I can help you guys and show you how this set works. So let's begin. And pack one, pick one. What do we open? Well, Ajani is just a huge bomb. +1 ability, just add a bunch of counters. -2 ability, you can return a small creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then basically the -7 ability, you basically win the game, since you're just making a million 1/1 white cat creature tokens. But yeah, easy first pick, great powerful card. And white does want you to be aggressive in this set, so we will definitely be drafting a very aggressive white deck with lots of 2-drops in the early game. And white's obviously a very powerful color in this set, with commons like Luminous Bonds, Pegasus Courser, and Starcrown Stag. So Ajani is an easy first pick, powerful bomb. Glad to see it in my pack one, pick one. Looking at the uncommons, there is Sleep, which is actually very powerful in the blue aggressive decks. The ability to just tap all of the opponent's creatures and get in for a huge attack, and then those creatures won't untap again, is just incredibly powerful. It's very strong if you can set up, again, a board with lots of strong, powerful creatures with lots of power, basically. You can lock those creatures down for a turn, attack in, and then attack in again, basically. So this card is amazingly powerful. Do not sleep on this. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended, but yeah, a great card. But for the blue aggressive decks, Vimare is also another great uncommon, especially if you can slap on an Aether Tunnel onto this and make this unblockable, or give this flying. It can be pretty absurd. It's hexproof, so they can't target it without any spells, and then it can be blocked by black creatures, which is really powerful. If you can enhance this with, again, a couple of enchantments, it can be just a really powerful beatdown creature. So another great uncommon. Looking at the commons, the ones that stand out are like Essence Scatter. Scholar of Stars for the artifacts deck is pretty nice, since it can draw you a card if you are building around it. But gotta take the Ajani here, just the king of the Jabronies, king of the bombs in this set. One of the cards that you should be scared of seeing if the opponent plays it. So let's scare our opponents with our nice Ajani. And follow up with Ajani, what do we have? We have Lightning Strike as an excellent uncommon, and Boros Aggro is definitely a very powerful archetype in this set. Lightning Strike is just efficient removal, can move us into white-red, and Boros Aggro is by far one of the best guilds that you can go for. However, we do have a great common in white, being the Angel of Dawn, if we want to stay flexible and open. Overall, pack one, pick one, I'd probably take the Lightning Strike, but Angel of Dawn is also very good, and it's hard to pass up one, especially if you already picked up a white card already. Also keeps our options open. Even though I don't mind going Boros Aggro, we could still be white-black life gain, white-blue flyers, hopefully not white-green. I don't really like that archetype, but sometimes it's a necessary evil. But let's take an Angel of the Dawn, stay on color, and it also rewards us for going wide with lots of small creatures too. So definitely a very good start to a draft. Looking at this pack, nothing exciting. Guess there's a reassembling skeleton. That's good for the black-red sacrifice deck. Other than that, it can just be a chump blocker you can play on turn 2 that you can get back occasionally over and over and over again. Yeah, nothing too amazing. The commons aren't all that amazing. There's Scholar of Stars if you want to move into white-blue. Just being able to cantrip with this and draw a card is really nice. Snapping Drake can be a fine flying threat that we can play on turn 4. Reassembling Skeleton does best in the red-black sacrifice deck. Um, yeah, this pack is a bit of a thud, so to speak. The cards really vary in power level. I mean, I could just stay with white and take the Swift Claw, which isn't too exciting, but it's still a 2-drop that I don't mind main decking, especially if we pick up cards like Pegasus Courser and get this flying, it can be very strong. So don't know what our second color is still. We could be missing on the good white-black deck, a good white-red deck, or white-blue deck, and this pack is filling with white-blue cards, so maybe I can speculate on moving to white-blue. And in this case, which card do I want out of this pack? I already have Ajani and Angel as a 4-drop. Could maybe just speculate on a Snapping Drake, perhaps, just as a fine flyer. Another evasive win condition. Yeah, since there's a lot of blue in this pack, yeah, I don't mind taking a Snapping Drake. And here, nothing exciting. There is a Cavalry Drill Master, which I do like a lot as a 2-drop, since it can enter the battlefield and give a creature +2/+0 on first strike. Works very, very well with flyers. It's an early game creature that we can play. And a 2/1 isn't all that impressive, but if you can enhance in a creature and get in a good attack, it can be pretty strong. There's also the Aether Tunnel, which I just mentioned about. If you picked up Divine Mare, this can be a pretty busted card, since it can make a creature unable to block. Shield Mare is okay. The double white is a little bit of an issue, of course, but we are looking to primarily be double white. But a 2/3 body is just a fine blocker. It can't be blocked by red creatures, which is a decent upside, and it gains you 3 life. But I don't think we care too much about that. I think we just want to curve out and beat down on the opponent. We don't really want something with 2 power and 3 toughness that double white can be a little bit difficult to cast. Could just take Cavalry Drill Master again, stick in 1 color, just a fine 2-drop. And nothing exciting here again. Yeah, these packs have been pretty disappointing. Could just take a Dwarven Priest as a fine blocker on turn 4. Could take a Wall of Mist if I do end up in white-blue. Sure Strike is for the white-red Boros aggro deck, which I do like Ajani and Angel the Dawn with. So if we are looking to be aggressive here with our white cards, it does pair very well with white-red, with what we currently have. With white-blue, not as much, but if we pick up enough flyers, it can be pretty decent, like the Snapping Drake. But our white really wants us to be aggro, so I think we want to pair it with red, so maybe I just take a speculative Sure Strike here. And could just take a Rustwing Falcon. Bogart Brood's a good 3-drop, though. Rustwing Falcon would keep us on color as a fine card, but you can always pick up some of these later, and it's only good with like Marauder's Axe or some equipment you can attach to it. Bogart Brood is a good 3-drop, and again, our deck wants to be quite aggressive, so I don't mind speculating on Boros aggro here, taking this Bogart Brood, and maybe we can pick up some pump spells like the Heroic Reinforcements. So we'll take the Bogart Brood here and speculate on white-red, and happy to see another Cavalry Drill Master. Scholar of Stars still in this pack. I mean, I guess this was the pack that we kind of wheeled. Don't know for sure, but I mean, Scholar of Stars can be good with artifacts, but I think we just take another Cavalry Drill Master to just lower the curve, since we don't know if we're Boros aggro. Well, happy seeing an Aviation Pioneer. I do like this card a lot. Just a nice 3-drop. Enters the battlefield, makes a flying token that can synergize with some artifact synergies. So we did pass up on 2 Scholar of the Stars, which would have curved out well with this Aviation Pioneer. But I don't like too many Scholar of Stars because, again, it is quite situational. So I don't mind taking this Aviation Pioneer, and I don't think I missed out on too much, to be honest. There's a Stone Quarry, which I could also consider. So yeah, I don't really know what direction I want to take. I don't know if I'm going to be white-red yet, or white-blue, or even white-black with this Epic here, but I can move into both sides, and I don't really want to commit, so I don't think I want to take the Stone Quarry. Maybe just go around, just take this Aviation Pioneer. It plays well with Ajani, it plays well with other artifact synergies, and we can kind of doodle around to see what color we want to take in this late Scholar of the Stars. Okay, so maybe white-blue is the archetype to move into. There's also an Inspired Charge and a Trumpet Blast. That can be fine, but I think I like the Scholar here. Maybe we do speculate on white-blue being open. And another Scholar, okay. So it could just be a white-blue Flyers deck, where we're trying to basically win with some artifact synergies, and it is quite an aggressive archetype, so We do kind of have a good setup for it. Double Scholar of Stars, Aviation Pioneer. So here, what do we take? Could just take a Loxodon Line Breaker to stay open. Not a great card, but I'll take it. And a Wall of Mist as a decent blocker on the ground. And a Gearsmith Prodigy. Okay, so white-blue seems to be maybe the place that we're heading towards. I do want white to be our primary color, but if we open up a bomb in a secondary color, we might consider switching out since this pack wasn't all too clear. White-blue seems the most open, but not too many amazing blue cards outside of the Aviation and Scholar of Stars, perhaps, if we do pick up enough artifacts, which we do need to work on. So, we'll see. And what do we open? There's a Banefire, however there is also a Horizon Scholar. Banefire is really powerful, especially if you can shoot the opponent in the face. We picked up a few red cards, but nothing exciting, other than the Bogart Brute and maybe a Sure Strike. What else is there? Nothing much. There's a Spark Tongue Dragon, which is only good if you can ramp this out. But I guess it can be a fine Curve Topper, but Horizon Scholar is really good, and we're ready in blue. So I think right now we just want to make this decision to move into white-blue. And our Ajani and Angel Dawn still plays well in the white-blue Flyers deck, so Horizon is definitely very powerful. Pack one, pick one. I'd probably take the Banefire, but yeah, this will be my second choice. So we'll just move into white-blue Flyers for now. And Exclusion Mage is excellent. Great follow-up. There's also a Shock in this pack, but not going to take it over an Exclusion Mage as a nice interaction spell. And a creature that you can cast. Also another Divination being passed. So we'll take this. Regal Bloodlord is very good, but I don't know if we're going to move that into that direction. Since we didn't pick up and see too many powerful black cards in the first pack. Here I could just take a Dwarven Priest as a fine blocker and a way to gain life. It can be pretty good with the Ajani if we can put counters onto it. So I don't mind taking it here. Or I can just take an Anticipate to help me find Ajani. But Dwarven Priest seems solid. If we don't pick up enough artifact synergies, we can just consider cutting the Scholars and playing the Dwarven Priest instead. And I don't mind using this card as a good blocker. There's also Make a Stand. We can make a case for, but I don't think we're Boros aggro. I think we're trying to play a more like tempo-oriented game where we're trying to win with Flyers, play some ground blockers and creatures early on, and try to win in the air. So I think the Dwarven Priest is fine here. And the Pegasus Courser seems excellent, but there's also Dwindo, and we don't really have any removal right now, outside of perhaps an Exclusion Mage. Pegasus Courser is actually pretty good, and we are kind of lacking something on 3. Dwindo's also fine. There's also a dual land for us, but maybe it's just a Pegasus Courser. We do have some ground creatures we don't mind attacking with, and Pegasus Courser can curve out nicely. It's also another good flyer for the deck. Dwindo's good, but maybe just have to take the Pegasus Courser here just as our first copy. In terms of flyers, we have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 flyers already. Yeah, gotta take it here. Hate passing it up, but it's what you gotta do. Can now take an Essence Scatter as a fine interactions way to deal with creatures. Also, Daybreak Chaplain can be an okay blocker, but Essence Scatter it is. Gearsmith Prodigy, Gearsmith Guardian doesn't seem bad as a nice Curve Topper as well, giving us an artifact for Scholar of the Stars to synergize with. Again, we don't have too much artifact synergy, so we could consider cutting one, but the Gearsmith Guardian can be a good blocker. And I think we're more of a tap-out deck, so don't know if we're going to keep up Cancel very often since we're looking to be more creature-heavy. And happy to see a Field Creeper. I guess maybe Mirara's Axe could be better. We don't have too much synergy with artifact creatures, like the Aether Shield Artificer that can benefit from this Field Creeper. The Axe can maybe enhance our wall, enhance the Drill Masters, our Flyers to get in a bunch of damage, so I don't hate the Axe here. And it's pretty good with Scholar of the Stars. Explosive Apparatus is pretty bad removal, so I think I'll take a Marauder's Axe. And another Scholar, maybe we end up playing this. Could just take a Revitalize, since 4 can get pretty expensive. We don't have too many artifacts outside Gearsmith Guardian, Aviation Pioneer, Marauder's Axe. So it can be overkill. Maybe the Revitalize isn't bad, just as a way to kind of cantrip and stabilize. And now maybe I can just take a Cancel, but hopefully not play it. Divination's good, just as a way to draw cards. You can also consider the Mighty Leap as a combat trick, but Divination's very good, so we'll take it. Anticipate could just be better than Revitalize, we'll see. And another Scholar of Stars. Do I need an Aether Tunnel? Not really, since we have a lot of flyers in this deck. Maybe we just play triple Scholar, we'll see. And don't hate Tolarian Scholar can be an upgrade over this Loxodon Linebreaker, since this Gearsmith Guardian wants us to have more blue creatures. So I can see myself maybe replacing it. Alright, so second pack went pretty well. We picked up, the blue seemed pretty open. What we're lacking here is removal, so we should have some issues if we don't pick up any Luminous Bonds or some Dwindles, since we did pass up a Dwindle for a Pegasus Courser, but it was a necessary evil that I think we needed to take just to fill a gap at 3. So hopefully pack 3 can give us some removal spells, which we're currently lacking. And what do we have in this pack? Nothing exciting, unfortunately. I guess there's a Trusty Pack Beast, which can be fine. It can get back our Gearsmith Guardian. Or there's a Rustwing Falcon. Nothing too exciting. The best cards in this pack are like Dismissive Pyromancer, Ghost Gas Spark Twins, and the Brawl Bash for the Red-Black Sacrifice deck. So pretty disappointing. Could just take a Rustwing Falcon. It curves pretty well into Cavalry Drillmaster. Plays well with the Marauder's Axe. Another cheap flyer that we can just play to maybe do some damage in the early game. Trusty Pack Beast can maybe get back Gearsmith Guardian when it dies, but outside of that, it's not going to do much, so we'll take a Falcon. Militia Bugler isn't bad, but there's also a Star Crown Stag and Disperse. Militia Bugler can be pretty good, just being able to fetch us a nice creature. Also a nice body that you can use to block. Starcrown Stag will be another good 4-drop though. Disperse will be another interaction spell, but it's not the best since it only bounces the creature. Alright, now 4s are looking kind of stacked already. I mean, I could replace a Scholar with the Starcrown Stag, but drawing a card with this is nice. I guess the most obvious case would be getting rid of the Dwarven Priest and replacing it with the Starcrown Stag, but Militia Bugler is pretty nice since, you know, you can fetch a 2-power creature from your deck and then just put it in your hand, and we have a bunch of 2-powered creatures. So don't hate the Militia Bugler here. Seems fine. And a nice payoff card. Aerial Engineer looks great. Seems like white blue is definitely flowing this pack. Yeah, we do have a decent number of artifacts already, so don't mind the Aerial Engineer. Maybe cut this Dwarven Priest from our deck. And the Salvager of Secrets, how good is that? Not too many instances in sorcery, so it looks pretty bad. Could just take another Rustwing Falcon maybe. Swiftclaw can be fine as well. Just as a decent 2-drop we can use. How good is Rustwing? Again, it curves pretty well into the Cavalry Drillmaster. And I could just play over the Gearsmith Prodigy, even though this becomes a 2-2. I don't know here. This is a little bit tough. Yeah, I could just take another Rustwing Falcon. Plays well with the Ajani, plays well with the Axe. Curves well into the Cavalry Drillmaster, so why not? And I guess maybe we can main deck a Tolilas since we're lacking removal. But there's also an Aven Windmage as a good flyer on 3. And maybe we can cut something like this Tolarian Scholar, which I don't care too much about. Anticipate can maybe go. And I don't really want to cast 5 mana for a Tolilas, so yeah, just maybe the Aven Windmage. And still no interaction or removal. Okay, I guess we'll just take another Pegasus Courser. And now we can take the Omen Speaker as a fine ground blocker at 2. Another Omen Speaker, sure. Might prefer the Wall of Mist, maybe, but the Omen does help us scry for Ajani, so I can see myself cutting this Wall of Mist. And, okay, Disperse, happy to see that, but that's our only copy. Could main deck a Mighty Leap since we're lacking interaction again. So overall, our deck is fine, but we are lacking in the removal department. And I think this is 17 lands with all these 4-drops. So in terms of artifacts, we do have a Marauder's Axe, Aviation Pioneer, and Gearsmith Guardian. Don't know how often we're going to get them, so I could see myself cutting a Scholar here since it's not a great body. And I don't know how often we're going to cantrip with them. If we build out our curve, it should look something like this. I might have to main deck this Mighty Leap just to kind of interact with the opponent's stuff. It's not very good though. Could maybe call it Pegasus Courser. I don't know. Aviation Pioneer. I mean, the Aven Wind Mage isn't all that great since we don't really have too many ways to trigger it outside of the Divination and Mighty Leap. And in terms of creature count, we have 18, so we can go down a creature, no doubt. The Kawi Drill Master is just a good creature on 2. And I do need some 2-drops to kind of stabilize the board in the early game, so maybe just cut the Aven Wind Mage here and go for double Pegasus Courser instead. Could just be better. And the game plan is basically find Ajani, play him, and win the game, basically. And I think I want to go 9-8 just to have double white. There's an argument that I can also go 16 lands, but I don't want to risk it. Yeah, let's try this out, see how it goes. Just double checking. Could main deck a Wall of Mist. Maybe take out Cavalry Drill Master since, again, maybe the win con is just winning through the air. Since most of our ground creatures aren't too beefy, in fact, that maybe I can cut a Cavalry Drill Master and put in a Wall of Mist here as a good ground blocker. And yeah, let's try this. Now I guess we're favoring blue a bit. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, we just added in the Wall of Mist already, so don't mind favoring blue, even though I want double white for the Ajani. We do have more white in the early game. I mean, we do have the Rustwing Falcons we want to play on exactly on 1, so maybe we just go, maybe we go 9-8 here. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And this deck might have some problems dealing with the opponent's stuff, since we don't have too much interaction, but maybe Ajani can just make our creatures large and just block the ground and hold the fort and win from there. Not a good opening hand. We're on the draw. We're missing white mana. So I think this is a mulligan. Because if we don't get white mana at all, then we should have trouble casting these 2 cards. And we don't really have anything to curve out with Pegasus Courser, so I think this is a clear mulligan. Alright, this is better with Ajani. Okay, so what do we bottom? I think we need our lands. Maybe we have to bottom the Horizon Scholar, as crazy as that seems, because I don't know if we're going to get to land 6 at all. Well, also mulligans down to 6, okay. So we might have to Essence Scatter something next turn. Even it might be a pathetic 3-drop, I think we have to do it just to stay alive. Not going to show my second color yet, so I think I'll just do this. Otherwise, we'll be holding this for the late game, which I don't want. Okay, so opponent isn't playing anything, so I think I'll play out the Pegasus Courser here. Next turn, we could just slap down Ajani and start plussing. Opponent still passes, okay. So he doesn't have cancel mana up, so I think it's time to Ajani here, just to start plussing him and try to win the game.
Do not fear, my friend. Look how far you have come.
And I'm fine attacking for 2. The opponent just good games me, okay. Because Ajani is pretty screwed up, pretty messed up cards, so Angel of the Dawn, okay. And I still have some good ground blockers here. Could just play out my own Angel here, plus my Angel and get in for a huge attack. I don't mind that since it gives everything vigilance, so.
Strength is born of struggle.
Alright, here I think I'll just Aviation Pioneer, keep up Essence Scatter. And, well, plus here, maybe plus the Pegasus Courser and the 1/1 token. Don't hate it. Do I have any good attacks? Not really. Just keep up Essence Scatter, say go. Since the opponent can do a good double block here. Alright, that needs to get Essence Scattered. The only way the opponent can really come back, I guess, is by potentially having like a Cleansing Nova, but yeah. Ajani is a messed up card. So let's continue. Alright, we have some 3s into 4s into 5. I think we'll keep this. Even though I do want some 2-drops, this is a curve. We are on the draw. Opponent is still in green, not showing me the second color yet. Starts with Drew of the Cow, which is a very good card. Alright. So opponent will be playing pretty big creatures here, so I should be careful. Having cards like Exclusion Mage and Disperse are very good. This 2/2 I don't care too much about. It can be quite annoying. I guess Militia Bugler isn't bad since it can fetch me a card, and yeah, it can maybe trade off for this Basilisk, which I don't mind, and a Rustwing Falcon, sure. Do I put them in the bottom? Okay. Forgot what I bottomed there. I don't think I saw Ajani, hopefully not. Opponent might try to enhance this, and he does. Alright, this is going to be a pretty difficult matchup to win if we don't pick up any bounce spells. Might have to use this Gearsmith Guardian to trade off for later. So I think we take it here. Opponent has 2 mana open, so you could have like a trick here, like Giant Growth. Ooh, Exclusion Mage is good. I think I'll just do it now, just to get it out of the way. So I think I'll play a Rustwing Falcon here. And then I'll have to bounce back this Basilisk so he falls behind in tempo and we don't take 1,000,000 damage. And there's no double green instant speed in this set besides like a Titanic Growth. So he's obviously holding it up, so I should be careful about that. So this obviously implies a Titanic growth. I can't imagine anything else. So gotta be careful here. This is gonna become a 6/6 when I block it. But luckily I can throw the Exclusion Mage in front of it, perhaps. Alright, so this Vimare is going to be annoying too. Maybe I just play the Gearsmith Guardian, attacking for 1, since it seems like the most mana efficient play. Now this Vimare can attack, he can pump it. Do I care? He can be pretty messed up if he can put some enchantments onto this thing. I can also offer to double block this and use him, make him waste a pump spell. However, this Daggerback Basilisk might have a Rabbit Bite, and he probably does. Okay. So how do I deal with this Vimare? I could just double block it here, which isn't all that bad, since I don't want to take 5 and I do want to get rid of this. I lose both ground creatures, but I don't want to take 5 forever, and I do need to deal with this Vimare, otherwise it's going to basically get out of control. And okay, guess I can just double Pegasus Courser here. Maybe get in for an attack, and I can take 2 from this Daggerback Basilisk. Opponent's looking to enhance his Daggerback again. Okay, he has another one. Right, so we definitely need some bounce spells, otherwise we'll just have to start chumping with these Rustwing Falcons. And none of these flyers are particularly strong. So probably take 5 here. And a Scholar of Stars, only if I had an artifact. Okay, we'll play a Rustwing Falcon. Attack in the air for 3. And then play our Aerial Engineer. Doesn't really matter here, they're all flying anyways, so... Ajani would actually be pretty good here if I can land him, so I can start putting counters on my creatures and trading off for this annoying thing. And a Colossal Dreadmaw. So we should have an issue playing against green, since the opponent has so much, has so many big creatures. So unfortunately, this is a reality we have to contend with. And a Divination seems good off the top. We'll just draw 3 here. And Essence Scatter would have been great last turn, but unfortunately no, so we'll just play out the Scholar here. Maybe take 6 from the Dreadmaw, keep up the Rustwing Falcon as a chump blocker. So yeah, I don't think we can beat mono green. Their creatures are just too big, we don't have too much removal. We don't have too many ways to deal with them other than bouncing. The opponent goes for an attack here, so this could imply a Titanic growth, which he probably has, but I'm willing to block it either way, and if he does, I guess he wins anyways, because I'm not playing to block the Colossal Dreadmaw. So, yep, green is our worst nightmare. We don't have any dwindles, no removal spells, because we took a Pegasus Courser over it. But it was still early in the draft, so I didn't expect to the opponent not to have anything. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 damage. We still need 4 power to get rid of the opponent, plus a Trampling Colossal Dreadmaw, and also a Giant Spider here to deal with our threats. So green is not a good matchup for us, so it's a good game. It's not bad. If I get a third land into fourth, this is pretty good. I'm on the play. I think it's good if I can curve out. However, it's pretty bad if I don't. I think I'll keep. And we are running 17 lands, by the way, so hopefully you don't have any issues. Please, one time, give me my land drop. Blue-red spells, okay. We have a Vashino Pyromancer to start, okay. And we picked up a land, excellent. So now the card I'm going to trade for, I think I just play the Pegasus Courser since it blocks a 2-1. And if he wants to use a combat trick, that's fine. My Scholar of Stars can still draw me a card with this Marauder's Axe. Another Pyromancer, sure. So opponent's trying to like basically drain me out by, not with creatures, but by other means. Such as direct damage to the face, I guess, but... If he attacks, do I trade off the Scholar? Probably. Since this Gearsmith Guardian, I mean, can become a 5/5 anyways with the following blue cards. Okay, opponent plays his own Scholar of Stars just for curve purposes. Guess the Scholar wants to trade off for his Scholar, so... I think I'm fine this turn just playing the Gearsmith Guardian. Do I attack? I could just attack with the Pegasus for 1 and then keep up the blockers. If I attack with both, he might just go out for an all-out attack here. So, yeah, just attack with the Pegasus. Could have a removal spell. He's probably hovering over it. He probably does. And a totally lost off the top. And I'm happy trading for the Scholar of Stars here. So we'll do that. I could just play the Aviation Pioneer equipped and then attack with the Courser. I don't hate it since I still have bodies up to trade. Do I attack with the Pegasus? Probably not. Maybe I keep it back just to have a good ground block on these 2/1s. So we'll just say go. And a Horizon Scholar off the top. Wow. Okay, so I guess a Snapping Drake would be pretty good with the Marauder's Axe now, since it can trade for this Horizon Scholar. It would be pretty bad if the opponent has removal, of course. Could just Divination first. Hopefully I draw blue. I think I'll take that risk. And we didn't draw it. Okay. So here we might have to set up a double block. So I'm happy out playing out my Courser here. Say go. Probably as a combat trick if he goes for this, but I'm fine blocking with the Thopter token and the Pegasus. Because I do need to get rid of this card. It's pretty annoying. But he probably has a removal here. Yep, he does. Sure. Blue mana is good, so now I can Snapping Drake, equip it with an axe. Just to maybe potentially trade off for this Horizon Scholar. And then we'll say go. And a Dwindle, alright. Guess I just block it, why not, since this is pretty much useless at this point. So this is the problem with not having removal spells. Ooh, Ajani. Alright, I think we just go for it. Yeah, can't say no to a powerful bomb like Ajani.
I am proud to fight by your side. You are capable of more than you assume.
And I'm fine trading off the Pegasus Courser for the Horizon Scholar here. If the opponent has removal, he can just kill Ajani by... Alright, opponent just passes his turn, excellent, and we have a Rustwing Falcon, so that's even better. So now we can basically put counters everywhere, which is very good. Bone to Ash, draw a card, sure. But now I'm happy just plussing Ajani, enhancing our Rustwing and our Pegasus Courser.
Deliver us to victory.
And no need to attack here since all I need to do is just keep enhancing the Pegasus Coursers, get to his ultimate, minus his ultimate, and just make a million 1/1s per turn. That can give me a million life, of course. Angel of Dawn looks excellent. Wow, even Angel of Dawn is really good, so here I guess I can now... Ooh, this is looking good. I can plus here, and then I can also just get in for a huge attack this turn. Ooh, even with Cavalry Drill Master, that's not bad. And yeah, we'll just use it on this Aviation Pioneer. We can get in for a huge attack, give the Aviation Pioneer flying. So yeah, Ajani's definitely a messed up card. Happy to first pick it this draft, since it's basically unbeatable once it goes on the battlefield and you have a million creatures on the battlefield. So Ajani to the rescue, king of the Jabronies. Didn't think I was going to win that game, to be honest, since the opponent had all the removal spells in the world, taking out my other creatures. Alright, let's see, we're on the draw. We do have a 1-drop, a 2-drop. Do I keep a 2-lander? It's not bad. I do have a Mighty Leap for Combat Trick. Do need an artifact for his Aerial Engineer, but yeah, I think I gotta keep. Ooh, and Rustwing into Marauder's Axe, not bad. Opponent's in red-green, so he's going to be playing big creatures here, but luckily this Wall of Mist can hold off the opponent for some time. Next turn we can follow it with the Marauder's Axe, and then Aerial Engineer would be pretty nice. Do love me the Wall, since it's blocking pretty well. He could just equip it, and he does, so... Could use a turn where I basically... This is tricky. Could use as a chump blocker. Yeah, we'll play the Aviation Pioneer. Maybe chump block with the 1/2 on the ground and then attack in the air here. And then hopefully we can start stabilizing. And maybe use the Marauder's Axe to trade off for this. Or a Mighty Leap. Mighty Leap wouldn't be bad against this, to be honest. I forgot, I do need a land to play the Aerial Engineer, and I luckily got it, so happy to see that. You could have an Electrify here, maybe a Shock. Could trade off the Rustwing Falcon, maybe, since, you know, it's not going to do much while this is an artifact. Right, the opponent just wants to get rid of our artifact synergies. Sure. And how good is this Mighty Leap? Might have to do some... Put a Marauder's Axe onto this and use this. Maybe I'm fine just taking 5 for now still. Colossal Majesty, okay. That's quite a scary card. Militia Bugler. Yeah, maybe Marauder's Axe here can be fine. Ooh, it's already 4/4 now. I can use a Mighty Leap on this. I think I'll say go, just to hold up the Combat Trick, and go for the Mighty Leap plan when he attacks. It could lead to a blowout, but I think I have to go for it just to remove this Greenwood Sentinel from the battlefield. And the opponent taps out before he does this, so yeah, let's ambush this Greenwood Sentinel. Now this is Militia Bugler seems pretty good since he can block off and trade for this Oracle. It's possible that I could have just played out the Snapping Drake, to be honest, since this wall holds back the 4-2. So I think I'll just attack like this and say go. So I might have made a misplay since this Snapping Drake kind of puts him on a faster clock. Or I could at least place a Marauder's Axe onto this Rustwing Falcon. So if he has removal for our flyer, the curve is gonna be a little bit slow. But this Majesty is definitely giving a huge card advantage I need to be careful about. A second Colossal Majesty, okay. So I definitely need to race the opponent here, otherwise he'll just run me over. So how about maybe the Marauder's Axe is the right play. But Snapping Drake just puts another flying threat. So I think the play is just attack like this. Maybe I can offer to trade with the Militia Bugler since it's a free attack. And this does get rid of 4 power, so he won't be able to draw on his upkeep, so that's not bad. Yep. Pretty good for us, since now he didn't get the extra card draw from this Colossal Majesty. And a Gaspark Twins, but that doesn't have any reach. So it should be game over here if I 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, good game. So that's a close one there. Opponent also drew almost stabilized by drawing a million cards, but luckily he had no reach creatures that got in the way of my flyers. And he made some minor misplays like attacking, tapping out, and then attacking with the 5/5 into the Mighty Leap. Alright, Rustwing Falcon to wall and Exclusion Mage. Not amazing. Opponent is on the play. Hopefully I don't flood out. This hand doesn't look great, but I think I still have to keep this. I mean, I could mulligan this, and hopefully I pick up something better. It's hard. Pretty hard decision. Yeah, maybe it's a mulligan. Doesn't seem great, and this seems a little bit better since I have Divination at least. And what do I bottom? Do think I need to keep the land. Maybe the Drill Master can go, or the Snapping Drake maybe, since it's quite expensive. Yeah, maybe we just go like this. Alright, Drill Master into Pegasus Courser isn't bad. Just curving out. Blue-green, Greenwood Sentinel. Okay, I can also trade for it, so I think that's the game plan against green, since green again is playing lots of big creatures. We just want to maybe just trade off for our make sure we don't take a million damage, and then try to win the air. Yep, I'm fine with this trade. Since this thing has vigilance, it can be pretty annoying to attack past. And Elvish Rejuvenator is fine. Make sure I keep a white next turn because I could draw into Rustwing Falcon. If he attacks here, I'm going to be a bit suspicious. So yeah, let's keep up a white mana for Rustwing Falcon. Could have a counter spell, but hopefully not. Since he is holding priority, he is holding something. Okay. So do I get in there for 1? Don't hate it. There's no flash effects or giant ambushing flash creatures I need to worry about, or any instant speed stuff that gives you reach. So I'm fine attacking with the Pegasus Courser here. And then next turn I can play the Gearsmith Guardian, follow up with the Horizon Scholar since it's going to become a 5/5. And it plays well with our Pegasus Courser. Skyrider Patrol, okay. That is quite a scary card. Since now the Elvish Rejuvenator can become a 2/2. So, well, why didn't he use it? I guess he's keeping up mana for Essence Scatter, makes sense. So in that case, I guess I'll play the Gearsmith Guardian first to get that countered. Leave back the 1/3 to block. Yep. Because I prefer the Angel of the Dawn since that can fly and block the creatures. Probably just play Horizon Scholar, find my Ajani, and then try to give a bunch of +1/+1 counters on it. Plays a second Elvish Rejuvenator. So creature quality in the opponent's deck aren't too scary, so I'm not really scared of the opponent's board. So hopefully I just want to find Ajani and win. Could keep up the Essence Scatter though, but it might be too slow to be honest. Next turn I will be playing out the Angel of the Dawn, I guess. Getting in there for an attack. Yeah, maybe not Essence Scatter since 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's pretty good with the Angel since I can keep up Essence Scatter and the Angel next turn, so I think I'll keep this on top. Opponent could play something big and scary that I don't want them to play, so. And hopefully I can win through the air. The opponent can give a creature flying, but that's only while he's attacking. He can enhance his creature, but again, it's only going to attack on the ground, and it can't block in the air, so fortunately I can just try to win in the air. Opponent just passes his turn. Okay, now I can keep up Essence Scatter. This Angel of Dawn looks really good. Hopefully he doesn't get countered because I do want this to resolve. Come on. And I can just try to keep clocking him with the Horizon Scholars per turn. Probably disperse here. Okay, sure. Do have an Essence Scatter along with the... Okay, well that's a good target. Luckily I kept the Essence Scatter in my opening hand. Poe could just attack with the Rejuvenator, but he chooses not to, so now this Horizon Scar looks good. And I can attack with the Angel of the Dawn. I can scry twice, I can disperse, which isn't bad, so I can disperse his counters. I don't hate it, since this is eventually going to get pretty big and I need a way to interact, so I think I'll keep that on top. And then this Militia Bugler can also find me some playables, so... I mean, sure, he'll be able to get another land, but it's just going to be a land that comes into the plate, so... Getting the Wind Reader Sphinx is countered was pretty crucial since it was going to draw a card every single time a creature flying attacks. So I would have basically allowed him to win the game. So definitely keeping the Essence Scar up was a close call for me. And now the game plan is basically to win with the Flyers. Opponent might just go AFK and pass since getting this countered was definitely not a happy thing that would happen if you were the person getting this countered, since this would have been game breaking. And this is such an insane card. 7 toughness is very hard to get past. It's a giant wall. Whenever opponent's flying creatures attacks, it draws cards, and damage-based removal doesn't get rid of this. So, and even pacifism effects will keep the ability alive. So, great card, but next turn we can Militia Bugler, maybe get something. Hopefully we don't bottom Ajani, because he basically okay, puts the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order, so it doesn't shuffle the deck. The lands stay on the bottom, the ones that I bottom. So yeah, I think the opponent might have been tilted after that Essence Scatter, but that's what happens in Magic. You never know what you get. So yeah, let's just play this Militia Bugler. Luckily this isn't Magic Online, and Exclusion Mage off the top, excellent. Think I'll keep the Exclusion Mage and the Disperse in my hand, but attack in the air. Since he could have a bigger creature that I want to bounce back at sorcery speed. Opponent did Essence Scatter my Gearsmith, so I guess I kindly returned a favor by Essence Scattering his Wind Reader Sphinx. Well, opponent might just disconnect it or something. Alright, free win. Sweet. Currently 4-1, so not bad. Ajani won his 2 games. Just looking at this deck, what can I do? I mean, I'm considering maybe cutting the perhaps cutting the Cavalry Drill Master. Don't know how important it is. I mean, it did trade off in the last matchup, so it's actually not that bad. Was thinking maybe I could do a Revitalize instead, but maybe we just keep it like this. Alright, not bad. Ajani in the opening hand. Aviation Pioneer can make me some bodies for you, Ajani. Militia Bugler can find me playables. We're on the play. I think it's a good keep. So yeah, hopefully we can just resolve Ajani, put a bunch of tokens onto our flyers, and just win the game. So maybe we might steal this one. We'll see. Opponent's also in blue. Okay, everyone's playing blue today. Going to play my planes next turn to ensure that I get my double white going. Alright, and which one do I lead with? Militia Bugler hits a little bit harder. It can find us a creature. Aviation Pioneer is better with Ajani if I play it next turn, so I think I'll do Aviation Pioneer. Opponent's again another blue-green deck and his own Aviation Pioneer. Okay, give me my planes off the top. No planes, unfortunately. Okay. So I guess we'll just play it slow with the Pegasus Courser and say go. Basically assemble an air army while I wait for my planes. And a Skyrider Patrol, okay. Definitely a scary card. Unfortunately no Ajani off the top, so I think we play out the Militia Bugler. Get a Rustwing Falcon, I guess. Play out a Wall of Miss. And just say no attacks. But the Skyrider Patrol can definitely be very scary. especially if you can start enhancing his flyers. I can just go for a double block now if he goes for an attack. Okay, so hopefully no counter spell because well, I could just play the Horizon Scholar first. I think that might be the right play in case he has cancel up. So he probably has a cancel. Okay, so definitely baited that one out. So close call. Opponent can now attack past all my flyers. Okay, hopefully not another cancel comes out because Ajani does need to come. I could just disperse, of course, first. I don't hate that. So that resolved quickly, so yeah, let's drop him.
No
Gotta
friend
emote
of
your
mine
opponents.
fights alone. I will lend you my strength.
Gotta BM your opponents when they BM you in the game. It is only deserving. Sorry opponents, it is only deserving. And an Angel of the Dawn off the top. Alright. Don't think you're winning this one, opponent. That's what you get for BMing me. Let's go like this.
You are capable of more than you assume.
Yeah, I don't think you're winning this, opponent. Come on, just give up now. There's no way you can beat Ajani. I know you want your revenge, but this is not the game for it. Let's give it to the Militia Bugler since it has Vigilance.
Look how far you have come.
I guess he could give this Aviation Pioneer flying next turn. Might want to stay back with the Flyer. This is a lot of damage though, so I think I'll go for this. And the opponent just good games. Okay, well, Ajani, there we go. Huge, just a busted card. Keep in your opening hands. Make sure you scry into it. You do everything you can to find your Ajani. So I guess the main deck Anticipate wouldn't be so bad in this deck, just to make sure that we find Ajani. So yeah, I don't. Oh, I guess I can take one here. It's not bad, but it is a card that's not really playable. I could cut maybe like, I don't know, maybe the Scholar of Stars for it. As bad as it seems, 17 playables, because I do want to try to find Ajani in this deck, so maybe I do just take it and maybe cut the Drill Master. The Mighty Leap can again be a fine combat trick if I need one, so maybe we just go like this. Cut the Mighty Leap, go for the no, not the Mighty Leap. Cut the Drill Master, and then just hopefully anticipate and find Ajani, since he's so powerful. Could again just cut the Scholar of Stars because it's quite expensive for what it's worth. But drawing a card off of it is pretty nice. So yeah, let's keep trying this. Alright, Rustwing Falcon, Anticipate Omen. This isn't bad, especially if I can scry to Ajani and I have a decent ground blocker. I think I'll keep this. Anticipate I can always use later if I don't get my Ajani. He could be at the bottom of the deck, hopefully not. But this is a pretty good curve, 1 drop into 2 drop and 3 drop. Exactly what you're looking for in this type of deck. Opponent's also in white blue flyers with a field creeper, but the Omen Speaker can block it really well, so we'll play her out. And Ajani, no Ajani, but Snapping Drake seems pretty good. I do need my land 5 though, so but I don't really want to flood out. But it might be correct to keep the land on top so I can curve into Pegasus Courser into Gearsmith Guardian. So I think I'll keep the land on top, even though I don't want to flood. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have his own Ajani, and an Aviation Pioneer is decent. Opponent is going all for full synergy here, so gotta be careful. Looks like we're playing the mirror match, except he has more artifact synergy, I guess. I guess the Scholar of the Stars enters the battlefield. Okay. So, yeah. Opponent has pretty good synergy, no doubt. He can attack with his 3-2 next turn, but I think I'm fine with that since I have a Gearsmith Guardian following up to do some blocking. Here, I think I'll leave the 1-3 black to hold off the 1-2. I think I'm fine attacking with the 2 flyers. Does the opponent play his own Gearsmith Guardian? Fine taking 3 here, not going to block it with a Snapping Drake, since the Gearsmith Guardian can block this. Okay, well, I guess it's just a mirror match. Yeah, it's the mirror match, so we'll just say go. And we could just outrace the opponent, maybe, since this 5-5 can gain flying, and we can use this 1-3 to chump. So I actually don't think we trade here. I think we might just go for an all-out attack, as crazy as it seems, but I think I would want to main deck Anticipate first. Alright, here, opponent could just attack with everyone. Could just be correct to chump block this 6-6 while I still can. I could just double block it, of course. And this 3 drop can start attacking profitably against the opponent. 6 is a lot. I do have an Anticipate, maybe. If I find a way to maybe... I don't have any ways to kill the Angel of the Dawn. But, you know, getting into 5 attack is nice, but I still think I chump block here, since I don't want to really take 6, and that can be a lot of damage. Militia Bugler, okay. Could Militia Bugler first, could Anticipate first, in fact. Really depends. Will I whiff on the Ajani? Yeah, let's a Militia Bugler. Okay, hopefully Ajani isn't on top. And luckily we got a Wall of Mist, which is really nice. And I think I'll play out the Wall of Mist to have an extra blocker. Yep, and then we can start attacking in with this Snapping Drake. Could also attack with the Gearsmith Guardian, but he has a good block on it, so we'll attack in with the Snapping Drake, offer to trade with this Angel. Potentially chump block this 2-3 onto this 5-5. Does he trade? Okay, he goes for it. Sweet, so now I can definitely attack past this Thopter token. Maybe I can just use the wall to chump block, since this Militia Bugler isn't going to do much. Could just take 5 here. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I'm still at 10, so my life total is pretty good. Opponent's, okay. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a cancel or anything. Get my Ajani, no Ajani, but Omen's fine. That can chump block even more. Let's play the Omen. And an Aerial Engineer, not bad. I think I'll keep that. Actually, I should have bottomed it maybe, since I don't really have any artifact. Oh, I guess I have Gearsmith Guardian, so I can attack like this. Use the 1-3 as a chump blocker. Get in there for 2 if I need to. And I'm fine chump blocking his 5-5 This Pegasus Courser is definitely doing a lot of work. Opponent is just getting mana screwed here. Opponent just passes the turn. Okay, let's move to attacks. Opponent could have a Cleansing Nova, so I should be careful. Next turn is lethal, so I think I'll stay back. Cleansing Nova would be pretty bad here if he has it. I would need like a creature to follow up. Aether Shield Artificer, okay. That's fine, I can still chump block this 7/7. Think we block like this. Makes the most sense. Luckily the opponent flooded this match, otherwise I don't think we would have won, so... Alright, sweet. Currently, yeah, 6 and 1. So, yeah, let's beat the final boss. Let's do this. Actually, I need to save this deck to my folder so I can take a snapshot of this once it's over, in case I need it for some information in the future. So we'll add that to the inventory and we'll play this out. Alright, and what do we have? We have a Pegasus Courser in our opening hand, Wall of Mist, Gearsmith Guardian. No blue mana, and this hand doesn't look too good, no 2-drops, so I don't want to risk it. I think I'm fine mulliganing this, even though I'm on the play. This is a little bit better. Do I actually bomb the Horizon Scholar? Maybe. Could just bomb the Scholar to Stars, to be honest, or the Anticipate, since I do have Omen Speaker already. But I'm obviously keeping this. Horizon Scholar is good, but it is 6 mana, which is going to take a long time to get to. But I mean, by then maybe I can scry into Ajani. I don't know, so maybe I just cut the Anticipate here. Sure, why not? We'll do it like this. This is a powerful playable on 6, but I need to ensure that I hit my land drops to cast this. Alright, land drop accomplished, so definitely want to keep a land on top if I can. Okay, let's keep Ajani on top. Maybe, do we bomb the Omen Speaker? I think we do, since it's not going to be too relevant, and we're going to use the Militia Bugler, but Ajani was a nice gift. Definitely not bombing that. Opponents in the dreaded Boros aggro deck. Do I attack here? We're not the aggressor, but the Militia Bugler blocks this 2/1 pretty decently, so okay. Well, sometimes you get unlucky. So yeah, maybe I hit him for 1 since this 2/3 blocks this 2/1 anyways. But he could use a Sure Strike or something, which can be pretty annoying. So if he attacks, do I just do it here? I think I force it, since he could have, like, he could use it in the future, and that can be pretty annoying. And he wastes his whole turn just trying to get past a 2/3. Alright, and now we just drop Ajani, I think. Yeah. I mean, how else do we win? We got to beat this final boss with style, so
in need of support. I will lend you my strength.
Definitely going to enhance this Omen Speaker. So do I block here? You could have another Sure Strike, of course. So maybe I'm fine with... But Sure Strike can give +3/+0, so that can be kind of scary. So I should be careful here. I guess he has his own Luminous Bonds. Sure, I'll take 2 here, but I still have a Scholar of Stars to follow up.
Are you finished?
It's pretty sad that the opponent is using a Luminous Bonds on a Scholar of Stars. But I mean, there's a chance he could just break past our wall here, so
yourself, what I see in you.
Once we land a Scholar and start giving counters, that can be really scary. It's possible that I could have just taken 2 from this Pyromancer, but I didn't really want him to develop the board. And the Fire Elemental, okay. Land off the top would be pretty good here. His opponent doesn't seem to have any removal, because otherwise I think he would have used it. Exclusion Maze can set him back, so... Wait, what does this do? Return target creature an opponent control, so it has to be the opponent, unfortunately. Even though I would love to use the Exclusion Mage.
Strength.
Do I attack here? I think I do, since the opponent stayed back with his 2-1. And I can get in there for 5, which is pretty powerful. It's questionable. Probably not, since if the opponent has removal, I don't want my win condition might just be the ultimate here. And now this Exclusion Mage can trade off for this 5-4 if he attacks next turn. He could have like the Heroic Reinforcements, which can be pretty annoying. But a Rustwing Falcon is also really good here, so we'll play him out. We'll do it like this.
Be strong.
And what will he do when he Heroic Reinforcements? That can be quite scary. Okay, so I think the blocks are going to go like this. Let's say he has the Inspired Charge. How do I want to block? Maybe like this. And maybe like this. Since he could gain 1 toughness from this. And he has it, okay. But everything trades at least. And now I have my Horizon Scholar to start upgrading. Yeah, a Rustwing Falcon isn't bad actually, since, you know, that would be a pretty good target to grow, so I think I'll keep it on top, as weird as that seems. And then we will start enhancing our ground creatures.
Deliver us to victory.
And definitely attacking with a 5-5 Exclusion Mage. Take Vengeance, that's powerful, but luckily I kept the Rustwing Falcon on top to start plussing with the Ajani. So, opponent's still staying, so he's still not giving up over this busted bomb. So, could have another Take Vengeance, but I still think I need to get in there for a 6. I could just keep this back, of course. Okay. Alright, sweet. So Ajani stole the game. Just a huge busted bomb that you always first pick, obviously, in a draft. Otherwise, you are making a huge mistake. Let's take this dumb photo of ourselves, getting this nice 7-1. And let's claim our prize. Nice, 2 packs, 90 gems, 950 gems, so got back our gems. And let's do a practice draft here. Start with Theros. And pack 1, pick 1. What will we pick here? Seems like a good, easy Elspeth Conquers Death. Follow up with Banishing Light. And follow up with Dreadful Apathy. Actually, Dreadful Apathy could be better than Banishing Light. But the fact that Banishing Light exiles any target non-land permanent might make it better than Dreadful Apathy. Of course, Apathy is an aura that you can fetch back up with Heliod's Pilgrim, and it does play well with the Rise to Glory. So that's also to consider, but I think I would still take Banishing Light over Dreadful Apathy, since it exiles, and the opponent doesn't have any abilities they can use, and you can target any non-land permanent, while this only deals with creatures. But Elspeth Conquers Death, definitely much powerful than the rest of these two, but would have been a pretty stacked pack. And of course, at 2019 packs, what we're seeing here, pack 1, pick 1, pretty close between Meteor Golem and Regal Bloodlord. These cards are both very powerful. Meteor Golem will be the more safer choice, flexible, enters battlefield, destroys any non-land permanent, while Regal Bloodlord is more of a build around, but Black-White Life Gain is definitely very powerful if you can get this going. But it commits you into 2 colors, so I wouldn't mind taking a Meteor Golem, but Regal Bloodlord would be a consideration if this wasn't in the pack. Alright, Palaka Worm, easy pick, just a powerful bomb. 7 mana, 7/7 trample, gains you life so you survives, and when it dies, it draws you a card, which is another great upside. Definitely a powerful first pick. So there you guys have it. This is the 7-1 draft for Coreset 2019. Might be uploading more content later, maybe some more Theros Beyond Death, but in the meantime, stay safe.